Hello everyone and welcome to a special bonus episode of Gary Grigsby's War in the East, sponsored to you by Tomislav Schlin. If you want to see more Gary Grigsby's War in the East, then head down to my Patreon page, link in the description below, and see which level of support suits you. With that said, let's get started. We'll be playing this on impossible difficulty, and impossible difficulty means that all our stats will be reduced to 70%, and all the stats of the enemy will be at 150%. So the enemy is getting basically twice our... Well, it's not technically twice our morale level, etc., but they get a 50% bonus and we get a 30% penalty. That's basically what it is. So I will be starting up the Grand Campaign from 1941 to 1945, the bitter end. We start at 22nd of June 1941 and we end at the 2nd of October 1945. Germany and its Axis allies embark on a blitzkrieg campaign to destroy the Soviet Union, only to be stopped at the proverbial gates of Moscow. 3.5 more years of bloody combat will follow before the Hamon sickle flies over the Brandenburg Gate. Scenario overview. The Axis logistics and replacements are sufficient only for a short campaign. Failure to crush the Red Army before the end of summer will lead to a tough winter in 1941. Failure to derail the Soviet war economy in 1942 could lead to an unwinnable war of attrition. If it can survive the initial Axis onslaught, the Red Army should be able to inflict significant damage on the invader in the winter of 1941. In 1942, hard fighting will be needed to defend key objectives, but overwhelming resources of men and material will gradually turn the tide and carry the Red Army all the way to the Reichstag. It's 224 turns. They get 50 points, we get 50 points. Let's get started. This will be in here for the long haul. So right off the bat, the first thing that we want to do is we generally want to bomb the enemy airfields. That's basically what you want to do in the first turn always. But before we do that, let's take a look at our objectives. So for this game, we get victory points based on what we capture and whether we hold them at the end of the game. And the same applies for the Soviets. So Moscow 1500, Leningrad 1200, and we're going down on the list this way. Baku, Kharkov, Stalino, Rostov, Voronezh, Kiev, Stalingrad, and Sevastopol is the least important of all of them. But Moscow, Leningrad, and Baku are the big hitters basically, and Kharkov is no joke either. At 20 points per turn, there's actually quite a lot. So yeah. Anyway, for the Soviets, it will be Berlin, Vienna, Budapest, Prague, Warsaw, Bucharest, Bratislava, Breslau, Königsberg, and Danzig. So there we have it. Now, before we get started with the air wars, the first thing that I want to do is I want to do Recon. But the way that Recon is set up, let's go to the air doctrine screen. So currently we do have Recon Escort, and I actually don't need Recon Escort, so I'm going to put that off. I don't want my fighters to basically help my Recon. I want my fighters to support my bombers basically. So I am going to do Auto Recon because I think doing Recon myself is just too boring. too boring. I'm just going to be honest here. Even on impossible difficulty, I just don't want to do this myself. And as you can see here, we're very unlikely to lose anything anyway. And even if we do lose a single recon plane here or there, that is really not too important, I think. We're not gonna lose the war based on that. And even the Soviets are losing some planes over here. Ha! We get our first casualty. Let's do this a second time. Because, like, why not? There's no reason not to do this at this point, basically, so I might as well. Since I don't have any fighter escorts anyway. Nothing's going on, but this is pretty important. Alright. That probably didn't reveal everything, but I think we should be okay here. So now I want to go to bomb airfield mode, and we can see already plenty of airfields, and I guess currently we cannot see yet how many units there are at most of them, but with some of them we can. So the way I like to do this myself, and I know this is not optimal, in fact I'm not very optimized in this sense anyway. I want to find the airplanes with the closest range first, which is the Junkers 88 usually, and I want to use those to bomb the enemy airfields first. So let's find my airfields, and I want to look and find the Junkers 88s because they have the shortest range, so they should bomb the airfields which are closest. Let's see, these have 262 airplanes, so we should be able to find, this is just fighters. Let's see these ones. This is the Dorniers. No. Heinkels. Because I'm looking for the Junkers. They're probably not in Army Group South. I remember that they're actually only in Army Group Center. Now we're not looking for the 88s, 87. 87. This is also 88. Yeah, here we are, the 87. Junkers 87 dive bombers. So I want to use the dive bombers first. Do I really not have any dive bombers in Army Group South? I mean, I believe historically they were all allocated to Army Group Center, but I do want to make sure that we don't have any in the south either. Yeah, this game is huge, so basically every little thing will take quite a bit of time. And even something like this, Junkers 87B, they are all under the 8th Fleer Corps or the 2nd Fleer Corps. And the 8th Fleer Corps, they're all at 15th, 16th, and 10th. Let's see that location. This is... Let's actually just do this so we can actually select this. Yeah, this is Luftflotte 2 under von Richthofen. Yeah, so all of the Junkers 87s are under Army Group Center. That's basically how it looks like to me. Anyway, that means that we're gonna have to deal with that. So let's take a look here. There we are. Now I need to remember how to airfield, and then let's take a look. So if I want to bomb these, there is a button for that. Ah, there we are. So it's indeed shift right click. Alright, so I want to send in the dive bombers and forget about the rest. So then I have to unselect all of them, and we can see currently that I have 93 dive bombers selected, but I do want to have some fighter escorts, obviously, as the enemies will, as the Russians, they will actually throw some units after me as well. Let's get 69. These are a bit further away, but that's okay. So we can see here we lost 2 bombers ourselves. Let's do that again. Currently have quite a lot selected. I don't want those dive bombers which are further away. I only want the closest ones. Get it with these fighters. There we go. We are losing some Ju-87s, but yeah, there's... I mean, we do have a lot of fighter escorts, but these guys are pretty vulnerable. So it was bound to happen anyway. But they are losing a lot of planes, so that's actually looking good. How many planes do they have still? 36 out of 75. I think we can warrant one more bombing run to clear out the remainder of them, probably. Yeah, that gets all of them. So you can see here they have 1 out of 1 plane left, and that's really not worth bombing here. So we can already see, we take a look at the casualties. For example, the Soviets lost one 37mm anti-aircraft gun. There's a couple of units involved there anyway, but if we take a look at the air losses, for example, we can already see that the Soviets lost 429 planes, and well, we lost 7. So I think that's a pretty fair trade-off, I suppose. And yeah, all of the loss were 87 Bs. That's fine. So I do need to actually do proper recon here as well, just to see how many planes there are. 240, so that's quite a lot. And I think that will be once again a perfect target for our dive bombers. Now let's assign a few more fighters here. I think those fighter escorts are going to be pretty important, because the Soviets do still send out some planes. I think we can not. That's too little. Let's send out 50. Oh wow, I lost 2 fighters. That's pretty rough. I wonder if we get to see whether they're operational losses. I think we can. Yeah, exactly. So the 2 fighter losses are operational losses. So that means that the Soviets didn't shoot them down, but they basically just they were faulty, and they just were unable to. They crashed or something like that. Like they broke down in the air for no apparent reason. BF-109E7. That's actually, let's take a look at that, because the BF-109E7. There are, yeah, that's the one of the most commonly used BFs, but it's the older model, because the newer model is the BF-109F indeed. You can see here from August 1940 to December, whereas these are made from January to June. So these are a lot better than these somewhat older versions, which should be upgraded, but of course, well, it doesn't happen so readily with the Germans. Anyway, we've taken these guys down, so that's good. Let's take a look at some of the other closer by airfields, so that like these ones, for example. Let's see if we have some dive bombers ready. We should. There we go. So no fighter bombers, no level bombers. The amount of fighters here is quite a lot. I don't want these level bombers over here. They are not necessary. Yeah, let's do it like this. I'm gonna have to launch a few attacks. Oh, come on, I need to keep selecting them, right? But it will be worthwhile to do this with the dive bombers. I think that's pretty good, because then I can use my long-range bombers for the further away airfields. That's basically the goal here. How many do I have? Yeah, I should still do a bombing run with my dive bombers. Like one more should do the trick. They have a lot of anti-aircraft guns, but well, that did go pretty well. We're at 1,000. Let's see. Do we have? This is just Junkers 88. These are too far to be dive bombers, indeed. We probably. don't have another shot. Let's see. It's unlikely they'll be able to get Vilnius that way, but with the dive bombers, but we'll see. Let's do some reconnaissance, see how many there are. We still don't see though. Recon aircraft unavailable. Okay. I don't want to select only the bombers here. I do need fighters as well. Together with some level bombers, I guess. Yeah, let's launch a big attack on Xiaoliai. You can already see this is going a lot worse than with the dive bombers. You really need a good hit in there. What did we get? Yeah, that's okay. Okay, that's quite a lot of planes they have there. Only level bombers are capable of going there, huh? We'll probably get shot down if we don't have any fighter support. Yeah, that would be a bit of a problem. So let's do recon here. Recon aircraft unavailable. It's just 40, that's definitely not worth it. 169. Oh, that's definitely not what I wanted to do. I mean, I got a lot of fighters there, or a reasonable amount of fighters. I have to do recon there. Okay, well. Let's see what we can do here. We should be having... Yeah, let's use these Heinkelman 11s because they're relatively close. Let's not take these. This is fine. Alright. That's pretty neat. Now let's go for this airfield. And you can see that the percentage used is relatively small because, well, they're very close to my units, so they can do a lot of bombing runs in one day here. I do need a bit more fighter support than what we have now. Soviets still send out their own fighters, so I think it is imperative that we deal with it. In this fashion. The last 22, like 7 is not very important, but 22 is not too bad. Yeah, let's do it like this. Oh, I got them. Great. These are fairly useless enemy planes. Yak 1s, I-16s. They're not the pinnacle of air aviation, but hey, every Soviet airplane that we take down does help, and will prevent us from getting into trouble in the future. Let's do a bit more recon. $301. Yeah, that's quite a lot of planes. We lost 3 bombers. That's quite crazy. Holy cow. Alright. These guys are getting pretty used up. Yeah, 25. That's not enough bombers. In fact, I kind of need to do it like this indeed already. Let's recon these. Let's see how many there are here. Aircraft unavailable. The problem is the Soviets also have airfields with like 5 planes or whatever, and then it's just pretty much useless to bomb those. Like 300 is worth it, of course. 179. Alright, let's take a look at the losses now. They lost 2,000 for now. Show me what you got, baby. Not too much. So I think it's imperative that we use indeed these close range airplanes. What do the Romanians have? Let's send out everything we got at them. It's fine though, they have a lot of planes there, so that is still very much worth it, I think. Let's take a look at these. Yep, let's launch. Oh, that's great because they have a lot of recon units there. That will actually help. No, I actually want you guys too. Some MiGs and some I-16s again. Nice thing is that the Romanians also don't even lose that much currently, so I'm fairly happy with that. They are actually doing rather well. $73 left. See, this airbase is nothing, so you really don't want to be hitting that. Poor hit. Most of the Romanian bombers are now out of action. You can already see that. Yeah, unavailable or out of range. You can still try to hit him here. Oh, got another 12 fighters. Like I said, every little bit helps, and we really don't have to worry that much about fuel anyway. I'll keep blasting with them. They still have plenty of air units there, so even those 7 bombers still took down 2 planes. And there will be 1 less plane that we'll have to worry about later on, so. Now we'll go back to the Germans though. Not a whole lot of bombers available here, but We'll still get some. And they are now unusable. How about you guys? Yeah, they won't be able to do anything anymore. The 11th Army has no planes left. Alright. That means with the Romanians we're kind of done. But up here we still have quite a few. So these guys are in marginal shape. I generally don't tend to go for the air bases a lot further away because I find that it just takes too much fuel. So if they, for example, launch an air attack here, that might take them, what, 8% of their weekly capabilities. But going here will take 30. So I really saved those for last. Let's see. I will send in one attack over here. Let's do a small one first so we know what's in there. They did lose some, not a lot. We still don't know how much they have there. That's the problem. Alright, let's send a big raid over there. With 12 planes, they are bound to have a lot. Yeah, they do. Right, I should be able to see what's out there now. 187. Alright, that's a big deal. Not going down quickly though. Come on. They also have... What are those then? Because these are recons, but then one of these I-16 types is... They're also recons. I'm not sure which one they would be. It's actually a bit of a shame. The one thing that would be really nice is if you could actually look up the enemy units as well. Like, I can, for example, I can take, if I want to see what the losses are, for example, I want to know what this PZL-37B Romanian unit is. Then I can go to the production screen, take a look at the Romanians, if I can find them. Slovak Romanians. Oh, I need to go up though for the planes. And I can take a look, like I can search up the PLZ 24E or anything else that I want and then take a look at it. And I can see what that plane is, you know, but I can't do that for the Russians. So I can immediately figure out, okay, this is a fighter that I lost. Whereas basically I have to go to whatever Wikipedia or something in order to look up what the I-16 Type 5 is, because I know the I-16 is a fighter, but then I don't know what, like the Type 29 and the Type 5 are in such small numbers that they might actually be recon or whatever, and I have no clue whether they are. Like, I'm quite sure the SB2 is a bomber, and the SB2 recon is a recon, obviously. But, yeah, I don't know for each Soviet plane automatically what it is. And the same counts for example, the Romanian planes. I don't actually know necessarily. I think the SM-39B is a bomber, but, yeah, sometimes it's a bit of a guess. Anyway, let's... I mean, we still have some bombing to do down there, but I actually want to take a look up here too. I don't know how many there are there. Like, if there are a lot of planes, some of those places, I cannot do any more recon, I think. Oh, there I can. That's super weird though. 161, huh? 14 not 15, so that's not worth it. $241. 171. Okay. Well, let's see which units might be available. All the way up here. Some level bombers. Let's see how that works. So they have a lot of fighters on the counterattack. We're going to lose a lot of planes that way. You can already see the losses immediately got racked up because we don't have any fighter support. Let's see if we get a bit closer by. We still lose plenty of planes. Because we are missing that fighter escort there. Did not turn out to be so great. This is just 15. We can try it Bobrusk. 15 bombers. There are a lot of SB2s apparently there. Do we have no other Junkers 88s that could actually reach that? How about you guys? Come on. Nobody. Okay. Well, as long as there are a few planes, I'm gonna keep hitting. 5 bombers made it. Like I said, I'm not very good at destroying these myself. I would be surprised if I get over 3,000. Four bombers left, huh? Like, this is not gonna achieve a whole lot need. What do we have left? One. Basically, here I'm just looking whether there is any airbase which still has anything useful. Like, I'm not gonna bomb it if there's just one plane. Whereas I do think this might still be worthwhile. 23 bombers. That's fine. Like, if I can even take just a few away from these, that is worth it. That's going actually pretty well here. So we're losing fighters left and right. Like, I'm supposed to see from this basically what the utility planes are. And I have no clue, if I'm honest. Oh, why would you only do 2? Let's see. Oh, they're almost down. Okay. Let's see then. Kishinev, how many do they have? 43. Let's just smack all of them on there. I'll throw everything I got at them. And especially on this difficulty, I think we need to take every advantage that we can get. Even if it's just one enemy fighter. Going back over to these because they have more. Got two. Can we get the last one at Kishinev? No. I have to say that's a bit of a disappointment. Six bombers to get the last one. Oh, we got them. It, I should say. Here as well. Let's get that last one. There's 0 here, so we cannot actually bomb anymore. So let's see what we got. We got 3168. So I believe that if you are like, there are these expert players that can take down up to 5,000 Russian planes, which I think is really insane. As for me, I'll just be glad to have to have over 3,000. You know, it's just yeah. I'm not so great at it. I don't know what kind of strategy they use in order to get so many, or whether they like know exactly what to do. But it will probably take a lot of testing to get more than to get that many. Like I don't know really. If you have a better strategy than mine, I would be very glad to know that, because yeah, I'd like to learn from that, definitely. Like, this is definitely something I can improve upon. 3,000 is not a lot. It is not. But yeah, I just don't know any better way. So yeah, if you know that, I'll be quite curious to see. But oh well, we got 3,000. That's okay. And we'll just have to go and live with that. And that will also be it for this first episode. So starting from next episode, I will probably start with Army Group North, fighting their way towards Riga, and I will do some adjustment to my units, etc, etc. But yeah, each of these videos will be half an hour long-ish, so that's basically what I'm trying to go for. I want to thank everybody for watching. Do hope you enjoyed this first video, even though, well, bombing enemy airfields is usually not the most interesting aspect of this game, but you know, it is definitely a part of this game, the turn 1 bombing run. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it anyway. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe, or help me out on Patreon for more videos. Link is in the description below. And thanks to all my Patreon fans, and Tilly's fan 555, Tomislav Trin, and Mandingo. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye.